Thank you, Chairman Moran, Ranking Member Blumenthal. The titles look good on both of you. I'm looking forward to a productive term. And it is a great honor and really a blessing for me to be able to be here to introduce my former colleague, friend, Navy veteran, military chaplain, accomplished attorney, Doug Collins. In fact, if we were to write up, there's a lot of talk these days about people being, quote, unqualified for these positions, when the reality is, in our great system of self-governance, the only qualification is that the elected people want you. And, but if we were to write up the qualifications for a VA administrator, for a VA secretary, Doug Collins' picture would probably be right next to the description. Working with Doug on big bipartisan things, I remember in the House, one of the most unlikely things in the world for me to get involved in was copyright law and looking out for the rights of songwriters. And yet, somehow, Doug's big personality and big brain sucked me right in, and I'm glad I did. It was important work, and it was kind of really precedent-setting work in the area of entertainment. But he's got that kind of a personality, an engaging personality that attracts people to what he's working on, and I think that says a lot. I mentioned he's an accomplished attorney because that's really important. That's an important part of both understanding, Senator Blumenthal, the law, and enforcing the law, carrying out the laws, defending the laws that are passed by Congress and become part of the bureaucracy. Obviously, him being a veteran, the Navy and Air Force reservist is important. He relates directly to the experiences of our veterans. He was deployed to Iraq. He knows a thing or two about the experience of the veteran. I think that's part of what, to your point, Senator Blumenthal, makes the VA care so special. It's not that they're better doctors or better psychiatrists or better nurses or technicians. It's that they're empathetic. That's what I hear from my veterans so oftentimes is, while they appreciate access to community care, they appreciate the empathy of a fellow veteran. And Doug brings that. But guys, he's a chaplain. I mean, come on. How perfect is that? Because to me, one of my great frustrations about the VA, I mean, just this last summer, a $15 billion shortfall is announced. Where was all the communication before that? Where was the transparency that we would seek before that? Well, it was a little CYA, I think. And then suddenly, panic sets in, fear and anxiety, uncertainty, even to the point where Congress itself passed a supplemental. We all remember it very well. A supplemental where a single dollar was never used because, lo and behold, there wasn't a $15 billion shortfall. How does that happen in a competent agency that's looking out for the veteran? And so Doug brings, he brings first he brings the legislative experience. He helped pass the VA Act, the VA Mission Act, the VA Accountability and Whistleblower Acts, these things that provided the transparency which we seek. He knows the intent of Congress. He's a lawyer who understands them, but he's a chaplain who understands the recipient and the need at the moment. And I'm just really, really grateful that he's my friend. I've known many, many good people, Republicans and Democrats, who've sought a position in the VA. And every one of them was well-intentioned. And every one of them was certain that they would break through, that they would be the one that would make the difference, that they'd be the one that would take the opportunities for care closer to home and put them on the front page of the website instead of burying them deep so that they never find them. But we do have now in the commander-in-chief and a cabinet that he's picking, people who will put the veteran first, not the bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is important. The service providers are important. But the most important person is the veteran, and that's who Doug Collins will look out for. And I'm really, really, really grateful that he's my friend, that he's willing to step into this gap, and I'm ready to support him in every way possible. And so I introduce to you Congressman Doug Collins.